Hello and welcome to the channel. The leader of the Yoruba Nation self-determination struggle, Professor Banji Akintoye, has called out the All Progressives Congress APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying his presidential ambition is for personal gain and not for the welfare of the Yoruba people. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you. 2023. Tinubu after personal interest, says Akintoye. The leader, Yoruba Nation self-determination struggle, Professor Banji Akintoye on Thursday claimed that the All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Bola Tinubu's ambition was for personal interest. He said with his Emilokan wish meant, "I am the next person" statement, it was obvious Tinubu's mission to become Nigeria's president was personal and not for the welfare of the Yoruba people. Akintoye, who is a professor of history, dissociated himself from an interview he granted 2 years ago where he had endorsed Tinubu for president, saying the former Lagos state governor was contesting at the wrong time. In a statement on Thursday, Akintoye clarified that he is not endorsing Tinubu and will not vote for the former governor during next year's election. The self-determination group leader also chided other Yoruba politicians seeking elective offices, saying they were doing so at the expense of Yoruba people seeking emancipation to achieve the Yoruba nation. According to him, "I have no personal animosity towards any Yoruba person seeking election, but I am sorry for you. You are creating a legacy that your children's children will be ashamed to know about very soon in the future of the world." The statement read, "Our brother Tinubu, you are fighting for yourself alone when your whole family is perishing. There is fire on our roof as a nation. It is unbelievable that any Yoruba man would do to his people what you are doing to our people now. You have been carrying around a video of an interview that I granted Alaroye in the campus of Obafemi Awolowo over 2 years ago. They asked me that if there was no struggle for self-determination and you want to recommend a Yoruba person for president of Nigeria, who would I recommend? And I said yes, if that is so, I would recommend Tinubu without any hesitation. But that is if the times are right. The times are not right. You know, I do not endorse any Yoruba man, Tinubu or any other for any elected position, any position at all in Nigeria at this time. I stand fully and without looking back with the Yoruba struggle for self-determination for our own country, for Yoruba nation now." That's the truth of the matter. Dear Tinubu, please don't deceive yourself. You cannot deceive our people. You think you can carry that kind of video around and deceive our people. Our people are smarter than that. The world is watching you. Our history will judge that at a time when our nation needs to stand up and defend itself. You started to bring up an agenda, a personal agenda of your own before them. You are asking us to vote for you. We will not vote for you. Whether it is for the presidency or the Senate or House of Rep or whatever, we will not vote for you. We would have taken our country out of Nigeria by then. So, we advise you now to return to your people. I am advising you now, return to your people and wash your soul clean. You are doing a thing that is unpardonable. Tinubu, you are destroying the Yoruba future. You are creating a legacy for yourself that your children's children will be ashamed to know in the future. We ask you to return. You can still save yourself now and your future. We are determined to take our country, and I'm standing solidly with the young people who are running around trying to take their country. Oh, you might say they are fighting themselves. That's what young people do everywhere. That does not mean that they don't want their country. They want their country. And the Lord God, the creator of all nations, has given them that country. And very soon, the Lord will deliver their country into their hands. Then it will be their duty to settle down and begin to do for their people the kind of government that Yoruba people have been given to their people from the beginning of time. A government whose objective is the improvement of the life of the people of our nation. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Please turn the notification bell on. Thank you. But in a swift reaction, the Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council has advised the leader of the Yoruba Nation self-determination struggle, Professor Banji Akintoye, to use the remaining part of his life to be at peace with himself and his maker, instead of fanning embers of discord. Akintoye was advised after he claimed that Bola Tinubu's presidential ambition was for personal interest. However, Bayo Onanuga, the Director of Media and Publicity for the Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council, in his response, described Akintoye's statement as unfortunate and divisive. Our attention has been drawn to an unfortunate and divisive statement credited to Professor Banji Akintoye, in which his group threatened to pull southwest Nigeria from Nigeria. Since there has been no referendum held in Yoruba land about whether to stay in Nigeria or not, we presume that the separatist idea is basically Akintoye's idea. We want to advise him not to plunge our people into crisis or another Rwanda. We find it unwarranted the professor's sweeping accusation that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is only pursuing his personal interest in running for the presidency of Nigeria. We hasten to say Asiwaju Tinubu is doing so because of his readiness to render unflinching service to Nigerians and his abiding faith in a strong, united and prosperous Nigeria where all men and women, regardless of their ethnicity and religious beliefs, can find joy and personal fulfillment. Most of the issues on the structure of our federalism raised in Professor Akintoye's statement have been sufficiently addressed in Asiwaju's action plan, with his promise to address some of the problems plaguing our federalism and the will to make the states to be more viable as federating units by devolving more powers to them. We find it unexplainable that Professor Akintoye, who once served as a senator of the Federal Republic under the Unity Party of Nigeria from 1979 to 1983, at 87 years old, in the twilight of his years on earth, wants to leave a legacy of hatred, bitterness, intolerance, and acrimony in our country, when it should be a voice of reason, wisdom, and stability. Yoruba people, which Akintoye falsely claimed he is fighting for, say, "We don't have an elder in a market, and the head of a newborn is not properly placed." These immortal words of our forebears appear to be lost on Professor Akintoye, who seems to be using his old age to create discord and enmity within our body policy. That's the news, guys. Bye.